I'm here today to tell you about my 5 worst share buys ever. I don't want anyone to get the impression that I am some sort of market genius, because I'm not. I am what I would describe as a lucky idiot. But I'm lucky to be able to do this as a hobby, so if you like this stuff, please subscribe so I can do more of it. Generally, I'll buy really sensible index funds and shares and sit on them forever. But every now and again, I get a little bit excitable and decide to have a bit of a punt on something. And it doesn't work like 99% of the time. Why I don't learn this lesson, I don't know, but I keep doing it. So let's go through my 5 worst share buys ever. So I just want to note as well, these terrible buys are in no particular order because they're all terrible for different reasons. They're like my children, like I hate them all. They're all special for different reasons. I don't hate one more than the other. Number 1. Macquarie Group. Macquarie are a large Australian investment banking company. They're actually a super stable company generally, but that's not the reason why they were my worst buy. I bought Macquarie Group shares back in somewhere around mid to late 2008 when they were about $61 a share. I was like, I reckon these bad boys are gonna go to like $100. I was so confident, I got a thing called a margin loan. A margin loan is essentially when a bank gives you a loan to buy more shares off the shares you already have. They use that as security. So I'm like, all right boys, I'm gonna gear up, get some money, buy some more Macquarie shares. Bought all these Macquarie shares, probably about 61 bucks a share, 60 bucks a share, ready to go to 100, just before the global financial crisis hit, at which point they dropped down to roughly $39 a share. I lost basically half the value of the shares. Because I had a margin loan against them, that meant the value of the shares I was using as security went down. So the fine folks at ANZ Margin Lending gave me a call and said, hey, you better give us $10,000 in 3 days or we're gonna sell your shares. Back when I was a young, chubby, handsome Nick in 2007, I did not have $10,000 cash floating around. So they sold out my shares and I lost 10 grand. Not a great start. Number 2 in my worst share buys ever was Dick Smith Electronics. You may recall that Dick Smith was a top Australian bloke who founded an electronics firm and like a peanut butter company or something as well. I then went on like a vaguely xenophobic kind of far right thing for a while. He got bought out by a private equity firm and sold it to Dick Smith. And then private equity firms did what private equity firms always do, gut the entire company, screw the shareholders, and then pretend it's shocking and surprising. In around late 2015, Dick Smith had a really big drop from about $2 a share to $1.40 a share. And I thought, oh, I should jump in on this because I think they're gonna bounce back up. So I bought them at around $1.46-ish a share, and then they then proceeded in the next 3 months to go down to 36 cents a share before the entire company went into administration and went under. What I was trying to do here was take advantage of a drop in the market to be smart and buy on the rebound. The risk of that is that when you do something like that, it just goes broke and you lose all your money. Next worst share buy I've ever done was Slater Gordon Holdings. Slater Gordon are a massive legal firm in Australia, killing it with like class action and personal injury stuff, absolutely charging along. They decided for some reason to buy a bunch of practices in England and geared up really heavily and bought these legal practices. And they were absolutely booming for a while. I was like, England, there's lots of laws over there. This can't fail. So I bought in at roughly about $6.30 a share. I was like, yep, we're on here, let's go. England, court cases all the time. They're all whingers. This is perfect. The shares briefly shot up later in the year to $7.80, and I considered myself something of a hero, thinking about like buying a rare seal or a tiger or something as a pet. Then it came out that they were actually massively overgeared and the English business was terrible and an absolute dog, and they then slid all the way down to about 50 cents a share, at which point I realized I was completely fucking wasting my time and sold out at 34 cents a share. Just so we're clear, cost of acquisition, $6.50-ish, cost of disposal, 28 cents a share or something ridiculous like that. I didn't research the proposal properly. I wasn't in it for the long term. I was buying into a company when they were making a major pivot change to their business, and it didn't pay off for them, and sometimes it doesn't. You'd think a company who were literally lawyers would learn how to read a fucking contract properly, but apparently they didn't. Another loss for MoneyCat. Number 4, and my absolute, actually this is my favorite worst buy. What am I talking about? I hate this one so much, I love it. Blue Sky Alternative Investments. So Blue Sky are essentially a publicly listed equity firm that go and invest in businesses, throw cash in. They did companies like Beach Burrito Company, restaurants, all sorts of stuff like that. Brizzy-based company, they're absolutely killing it. I've been watching them for a while, and I think I bought them at like somewhere around like $6.50-ish a share in probably like 2015-ish. Riding the wave for ages. Rode it all the way up to like $13 a share. I should have known something was off when I went to the annual shareholders meeting which all publicly listed companies have what's called an AGM. It's like an annual shareholders meeting where you all get together and like all the chairman will tell a speech and it's all great and it's a roadshow. It's fantastic, great day. Normally you get some free biscuits and coffee, that's nice. Sometimes a lunch. Anyway, these motherfuckers sent me a letter before the AGM. They're like, hey, you're a shareholder. You can come to a fully catered 3-course gala dinner at City Hall and bring 3 of your friends for free because you're a shareholder. Just so we're clear, I had like 2 grand's worth of shares in these guys. And they paid for me and 3 of my buddies to have a 3-course dinner at City Hall with live music and unlimited drinks for 4 hours for this AGM. That's not normal, you don't get that. They don't just give you more than your value in shares in free dinners. It's crazy. Anyway, should have known that was a red flag, didn't, got pissed. This short sellers report came out a little while later. What a short seller is short sellers are just like, they're like the sharks of the share market. They're just sharking around in the water. This is me being a shark. And they look for companies where they think something's not right. They do a whole bunch of research and then they'll release a report. So they released this report and said, hey, we think Blue Sky's up to something sus. We don't think their numbers are right. We're gonna short them, which means they're just gonna sell their shares. We think they're overvalued. Blue Sky did what everyone does with a short happens and just fucking panic. And it came out that they were just dodgy as shit with all their accounting standards and they went from $14.54 to 38 cents before they were delisted from the stock exchange. I can't even remember. I think I just held on till the end actually. Like they won me over with that dinner and I just didn't want to sell it. The thing is I didn't really understand the nuts and bolts of Blue Sky's business. Their accounting was kind of opaque. They were literally inviting me to like $600 dinners even though I was an absolutely minor shareholder. These are all red flags again about the prudential nature of a business. Shouldn't have been in it. Number 1, the final worst share buy ever. Goddamn Yowie. If you don't know what Yowie is, Yowie was this Australian confectionery line that was like, well, they were Yowies, which are like, kind of like Bigfoot, but Australian. And they were sort of like knockoff Kinder eggs in the sense that like, you get the Yowie and you break it open and inside it's got a little capsule and there's like a car or some koala or something in there. So anyway, somehow or other, but like they ended up splitting off Yowie from somewhere and they made their own company and started trying to license Yowie to Walmart. I bought them way back in like late 2013 at like 18 cents a share for Yowie. And I'm like, Walmart, dumb Americans love dumb Australian things. I need to get in that. So I rode the wave up to about 82 cents a share, so that's pretty good. They went up and down for a while. They went to like $1.22 a share. I'm thinking like, I'm getting rich on this Yowie money. Like I'm gonna sell everything and I'm just gonna have like a Lamborghini and my number plate's gonna be Yowie. I had all this planned out. Then it turned out like their business model was actually just super shit and no one wanted to buy the Yowie stuff. And the share price ended up back down at 6 cents a share and then I ended up selling them at 4 cents a share. Moral of the story there. That whole thing was a dumb idea and I never should have gotten involved in it, basically. So I lost $1,000 because I thought I knew more about Yowies than anyone else. The fact that people even said in various stock reports that it was an idiotic idea should have been a tip not to do it. What am I trying to tell you with all this stuff? Other than the fact that my share investing experience is more or less pure luck and I don't know what I'm talking about, despite having a master's degree in the topic, that should warn you, don't guess and speculate on the stock market with money you care about losing. If you've got a little pile of money you're happy to take a punt on, go for it, but don't bet the nest eggs on it. Safe stuff, index funds, blue chip shares. Put it there, forget about it. Remember, don't get caught up in the hype, enjoy investing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe. MoneyCat out.